This is Rummy's Corner. Shakur Stevenson put his WBC lightweight championship on the line against William Zepeda. And let me tell you, that was one hell of an entertaining scrap between two undefeated southpaws, both in their prime fighting years, where the two boxing styles couldn't be any more different. Per their trademark, Stevenson came out of the gate boxing well, and Zepeda was applying pressure and digging downstairs. By round 2, it already looked like Zepeda had Stevenson fighting his fight, where the two often battled away in tight. The action was unfolding at a fast pace, and neither guy was neglecting the body. Zepeda clipped him with a big right that wobbled Shakur late in the third, and Zepeda opened up. By and large, Stevenson was getting nailed far more often than usual in the earlier rounds. Zepeda was applying intelligent pressure and bringing the fire, and while Shakur was beginning to shell up and counter effectively, Zepeda was simply a whirlwind of activity. By the fifth, Shakur began looking more relaxed and comfortable in there, and the action remained fast-paced. A pattern started to develop where Zepeda was generally still throwing more, but Stevenson was nailing the mark flush with greater frequency. Stevenson was still fighting Zepeda's fight, and yet he was the one who appeared to be finding a groove. But even with Stevenson fighting a fight that seemed better aligned with Zepeda's strengths, the contrasting styles of the two boxers was still readily apparent, with Zepeda applying constant pressure and forward motion, whereas Shakur was more nuanced and varied with his approach. Over the last 4 rounds, Zepeda appeared to be slowing down just a touch, and Stevenson was boxing well and looking very relaxed. He was making Zepeda miss far more often than earlier, and he was mixing in some beautifully timed counters and leads, particularly at mid-range. Both boxers were exhibiting tremendous heart and determination. Zepeda continued marching forward and giving it his best, but Stevenson was simply boxing better. Shakur was the superior operator, and it was showing. At the end of 12 highly entertaining rounds of action, Stevenson was awarded a rather lopsided unanimous decision, where 2 judges scored it 118 to 110, and the other had it 119 to 109. Personally, I thought those cards were too wide, and not truly indicative of the competitive action that transpired in my eyes. I thought the action in this fight was exceptional, and at no point did I view this fight as a 10-2, 11-1 type of encounter. For what it's worth, I had it 116 to 112 in favor of Shakur, but I actually thought Zepeda jumped out to an early lead. I had Zepeda winning 3 of the first 4, where indeed, I was beginning to wonder if Stevenson would be able to hold up at that taxing pace over the long haul. I also thought it was the type of fight that was a bit of a judging nightmare, where Zepeda was generally throwing more, but Shakur was drilling the mark with better punches far more consistently. Both of these guys honestly impressed me. I began losing some faith in Zepeda following the 2 fights against Farmer, but he came to win and he most certainly brought the fire. On the other hand, Shakur isn't known for being the most exciting boxer out there, but he looked great in this one, where uncharacteristically, he effectively stood right in front of Zepeda and beat him at his own game. I was highly impressed by the performance of each man, and I'm certainly looking forward to seeing where they go from here. I think both of them potentially learned a lot from this fight, where I believe Zepeda can definitely bounce back stronger from the loss. And I likewise believe that Stevenson can elevate his game following that type of performance. Congratulations to Shakur Stevenson, and best of luck to both Zepeda and Stevenson going forward. What do you think? Please share your thoughts. Coming up next week on the 19th of July in a championship bout that will be available exclusively on DAZN, Usyk and Dubois go head-to-head for a second time in a packed-out Wembley Stadium for the title of undisputed heavyweight champion of the world in the biggest fight of the year. Click the link in the description to buy the fight now. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed and have a wonderful night. This is Rummy's Corner.